I have really good news if your name is BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, or Houston. I have really good news if your name is Arizona, Colorado, despite your loss to Stanford, Arizona State, or even Utah. You're going to have a lot easier time winning than you maybe thought. Now, and this is not a huge knock on the irate 8 Big 12 teams. I don't want to say these teams are bad, but to me, there was a thought of, all right, there's this sense of conference pride where these 8 teams are going to band together, be really good at football. They're going to show that they're the heart and soul of the Big 12. They're going to carry into the future. And to an extent, they already have. To an extent, they have because there's been just one new team, Houston, wow, weird to say, who's gotten a win against an original Big 12 team. But come on, guys. Like, everybody kind of gather. I'm a Baylor guy, a Baylor grad. Let's gather in here, TCU and Oklahoma State, all you guys. It hadn't gone very well. It hasn't gone very well at all. So if you're Arizona State, if you're Arizona and Jed Fish, they look dangerous. Rashad is young at Arizona State. He could make some noise. He's like a young Spencer Rattler. Can make some noise long-term in the conference. Deion Sanders, the jury's out, sure, but I'm not completely selling on Deion and what he's doing at Colorado. Utah's winning Pac-12 championships hand over fist. This year, they're quasi-down without Cam Rising, but Utah's going to have success. Looking around to BYU, I think BYU gets slapped in the mouth. Hit in the mouth, slapped in the face. And what does Kalani Sitake do? He adjusts. He's really good at avenging losses the year after. Impressively good. He's going to adjust. Gus Malzahn has competed for national championships, has won one as an OC. He knows what to do. Scott Satterfield exists. I can't help you as much, Cincinnati, but you've been there in the last couple of years, so you have that pedigree still somewhere in there. A couple of preseason All-American guys as well. Houston, Dana Holgerson has been at the top of the Big 12 at West Virginia. You just got a new spark. Can you use that? I don't know. But what the case I'm trying to make here is there is a legitimate way for these new teams. You should feel really good. There have been, I've heard from so many people that, give these new teams a second to adjust. They need to recruit at the Power 5 level. Give the Pac-12 teams a little bit to get back into the groove of being in the Big 12 for like a Colorado who's returning, or to try to match the culture, the blue collar, hit you in the nose every week with a bunch of 3-star guys who have been coached up. No. No. If you walk in and decide immediately you want to be a dog, if you're at Cincinnati and a coach, or Houston and you're the coach, you can't get into the press conference and be like, now we got to recruit at a Power 5 level. We got to try to coach our guys. No. You come in and you be a dog. There's not an adjustment period. If you're waiting around for 2 years for an adjustment period in the Big 12, you're going to be buried in this conference long term. And you know what? For the irate 8, for the original 8, I've got bad news. I think that these new teams are kind of getting out of that mentality and into maybe we get slapped around a little bit, but this league is just not as strong as maybe they expected. And again, you could make the case that the parity is because there are so many strong teams, but look, come on. You got a lot of teams that are on backup quarterbacks, winning with backup or third-string quarterbacks right now. A lot of freshman stars in this league. There aren't, like nationally, who's a big-name Big 12 guy nationally outside that doesn't play for Texas and OU. That's tough, Daniels, Devin Neal, Kansas has a couple of them to make a case. I mean, there are a few, but dude, one of the big ones, Will Howard, got benched for a freshman who's better than him, maybe, with his legs at least. Like this conference just isn't as strong as we thought it was going to be. And that's okay from a viewership standpoint. It's okay because anybody can beat anybody. That's all. If you're a fan of Oklahoma State, that's awesome. You have a shot in any game you play. If you're a fan of Kansas, that's awesome. You have a shot in any game you play. Iowa State, everybody at this point pretty much except for the few of the new guys in Baylor. Whatever's going on over there. God bless. If you're a new guy, you got to be chomping at the bit. Good news. The expansion teams, you've got a shot to win right away. There's we live in a society where next year's Big 12 standings could very well be number 1, Utah, number 2, Colorado, number 3, BYU, number 4, Arizona. And everybody else in the irate 8 looking around going, oh, that's not good. Now, it might not happen. But there's a pretty good shot now based on the way the Big 12 is playing. That we look up next year and the top 4 standings are 4 teams that weren't in the Big 12 2 years ago, that weren't original members of this conference. And again, I make that case because there aren't a lot of national names amongst the Big 12 teams. There aren't a lot of guys who are making big splashes in a Heisman conversation. They're not teams that are doing it consistently. It's teams doing it with their backup running back, their third string quarterback. I mean, the give and take of anybody can beat anybody. It's fun to watch, but it just means that next year, some of these programs can put it together and win at a high level where TCU looks up and goes, ooh, this was supposed to be our conference. Baylor looks up and goes, ooh, this was supposed to be our conference. Oklahoma State looks up and says, we can't go 8-4 and compete for the top of the league. Yeah. Though this might be the greatest 9-3 feat that Mike Gundy has ever pulled off. Thanks to Ollie Gordon. They finally give Ollie Gordon the ball. We live in a society, man, where the Big 12 is just nuts. I love it. Yay. Come back tomorrow for the power rankings. This has been and always will be 10,000 subscribers, I shaved my head. 10,000 by January 1st, I shaved my head. And we are well on our way. Well, like a buzz guy, mostly. Locked on. Thank you for making it your first listen every single day. Doce Grande.